The NFL season might be over, but the New York Jets have one more game left. That's right, the New York Jets have been invited to this year's Reese's Senior Bowl.
J-E-T-S, Jets!
All right, welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, this is really exciting news. The New York Jets have been selected as one of the two teams, along with the Detroit Lions, to coach the Reese's Senior Bowl this year. Now, the Jets couldn't do it last year because they don't give the opportunity to new head coaches, which is the reason why the Jaguars and the Jets did not coach last year, and it's the reason the Jaguars are not coaching again this year. And with the turmoil or sort of up in the air nature of the Texans coaching job, they were not selected. So it's going to be the Jets and the Lions. And this is all sorts of great news for the New York Jets. This is the first time since 1979 that the Jets are going to be able to coach this game. And that year we did select two players from that Senior Bowl. One, Marty Lyons and Mark Gastineau, two of the four members of the New York Sack Exchange. So this is a huge, huge opportunity for the New York Jets, who have 9 draft picks in this upcoming draft. Now, they are twisting up the rules a little bit, so there's going to be a little bit different kind of breakdown as a way to try and promote growth within the NFL for assistant coaches. The head coach is going to have more of an advisory role. So Robert Saleh is not going to be the one actually coaching this team. It's going to be one of his assistants. So you might be thinking, okay, maybe it's going to be someone veteran like Ulbrich, or maybe an offensive coordinator like LaFleur, but I think it's probably going to be Ron Middleton, our tight ends coach. He stepped in as our interim head coach when Robert Saleh was knocked out for COVID. So I would love to see this guy get his opportunity to coach. I think it's a great opportunity for him. He did a great job for us in the Jacksonville game. And then you start talking a little bit more like, okay, well, this is good for us because now our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator can focus on their units, and then Robert Saleh can kind of help and assist with the defensive side of the ball, which is going to be a main area of concern for this team this offseason. Now, I was doing a little bit of research. So from 2016 to 2020, there were 10 teams to coach the Reese's Senior Bowl, and 25 players were drafted. In 2019, the 49ers actually coached the Senior Bowl, and they wound up selecting 4 players, 3 of which wound up becoming starters. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel selected in the second round, punter Mitch Wisnowski in the 4th round, and linebacker Dre Greenlaw in the 5th round. So people from our own coaching staff this year were on that 49ers team when they were coaching at the Senior Bowl. Not to mention we have a little bit of I don't want to say an inside track, but we have a little bit of knowledge about the Senior Bowl with Phil Savage in our facility, in our organization. He's a senior football advisor for the New York Jets. He was the head of the Reese's Senior Bowl for a long, long time. This guy has all the ins and outs and all the connections possible. So this is really exciting for the New York Jets. This is a really key opportunity for the Jets to lock in on some really good players that you don't really hear of, because a lot of the juniors wind up going in that first, second round because of their talent. It just explodes off the screen. So the seniors tend to, fall a little bit. And this is huge because now you're talking guys in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round potentially, depending on how the Jets wheel and deal their draft picks, that are going to provide a lot of value for the New York Jets. And I think it's where we could really round out our roster on the back end of these things. Now, there's a few players that I'm really looking forward to in this game, and I'll leave a link to who has accepted invites already down in the description. There's a few that have not that I think will ultimately decide to go, but Colorado State's tight end Trey McBride is my top tight end in this year's draft. I'm hoping to target him at the beginning of the 2nd round. I am so happy the Jets are going to be able to get an inside look at this guy, because they could wind up running him through our offense and seeing if he's a good fit before we even hit free agency. You got guys like Minnesota's right tackle Daniel Falele. This guy is absolutely enormous. I think he's like 6'9", like close to 400 pounds. Monster of a unit, potentially a mid-round pick as well. LSU's linebacker Damon Clark, OSU's Chris Olave, the wide receiver, electric wide receiver that could be taken in the 1st round. Boston College's guard Zion Johnson, as well as Utah's Devin Lloyd at linebacker. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for the Jets to interview and just run these guys through the gauntlet. This is absolutely a massive opportunity for the New York Jets. So even though you may not have paid close attention to the Senior Bowl in the past, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you keep an eye on this. We're going to be going over all these players as we find out about interviews and the different practices and everything like that. The Senior Bowl is slated to happen on February 5th. So I'm all sorts of excited. This kicks off our draft weekend, and not draft weekend, but draft off season, mock off season, whatever. I'm all sorts of excited. Boys and girls, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited for the Jets to coach this Senior Bowl? Who are the players you're going to be looking at? What positions do you want the Jets to target? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, go Jets.
Jets!